Dave Palumbo here with another RX Muscle live with today's guest is our 2021 NPC Masters USA 35 and over overall champ and new IFBB Pro and a great guy, Nathan Dandridge. Welcome to the show. How's it going over there?
Good, good. Still letting it sink in, being an IFBB Pro.
Yeah.
Dream come true.
We recorded a whole interview together, and then I realized that I wasn't recording. So I always say the second time around is best. And now I know a lot more about you, so we can talk much more fluidly. But it's interesting because I love to talk and interview people that have overcome obstacles in life, whether it be deaths in the family, diseases that they've had, accidents, drug addictions, there's been so many different stories I've seen over the years, and it's amazing the resiliency of people. And you have a similar story. You started out as a college athlete playing football. You got an injury. You got into bodybuilding, and then you had children, and that kind of and you kind of life got in the way. But you somehow managed to find a way back into the bodybuilding world, and now you're an IFBB Pro, which I believe was always meant to happen for you. But let's go back to your football career. How'd you get involved with football, and what position did you play? All that good stuff.
Yeah, so my brother played football in high school. He ended up getting a scholarship to Oregon State, and then he's like 5 years older than me. So I was like, I knew it was possible to get a football scholarship. So that's what I did. I was like, I want to go to college. My parents don't have money to pay to go to college, so this is it. And I was always a strong guy, even like freshman year. Like I ended up, they had like weight contests between the local teams. So we'll have squat, power clean, and bench. And I was in a benching like 300 pounds freshman year.
Impressive. Very impressive. How much did you weigh?
Pretty much.
What did you weigh?
185. I was a bigger kid.
I was going to say, that's a pretty good weight for a freshman in high school. Yeah.
Yeah, because in 8th grade, I used to play basketball before I played football and baseball. And I was always the taller guy. I was 5'10" in 8th grade. So I thought I was going to be like Shaq or something. But
oh my God. Holy shit, yeah.
I haven't grew taller since then. Well, I'm 5'11" now. I don't know how I got up there.
That's crazy that you were so tall at a young age. So obviously you dominated in sports because of that,
Absolutely. I was a beast. I played inside linebacker. I got a scholarship to Utah State University. I played inside linebacker there. So we're the guys in the middle banging.
Sure. Yeah, that's an important position right there. And obviously you got to be a really good athlete to be able to execute that position well. What happened? How'd you get hurt?
So like 1 year into it, I ended up getting hurt doing a squat max. We didn't do like a 1 rep max. We did a multiple reps. So it was 8 reps for 455. I did it, but I don't know, something got tweaked in my back, and the strength coach laid me down. Oh, it's just a muscle, let me stretch it.
Right. Yeah.
They stretched it, and I took a step and I fell down.
Wow. It sounds like the Ronnie Coleman incident that he had hurt his back in squatting, I think, playing football or something like that too.
Yeah, it was really disappointing because it's like there's no reason why I should get hurt in the weight room and not the field.
No, I don't blame you.
I didn't see eye to eye with that strength and conditioning coach, but whatever.
Yeah, well, I wonder why he was making you guys like do crazy lifts like that. I mean, it's almost like it was like a bodybuilding like thing he was doing with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it would be more dangerous to do the 1 rep max, but so we did multiple reps. Bench press, we did 1 rep, but with squats, we do multiple reps. I was like, I got stronger, like my muscles and stuff, but like the ligaments, my structure underneath wasn't as strong as what my muscles' capability of lifting weights was. So I probably just needed to like chill out. I needed to be in control of that. But at that age, you're not really like, you're just following directions. You're 18. So it's just like, I got to do what this guy says. That's he's going to tell the coach, and I'm out of here.
I've seen more people get hurt in squatting, not doing 1 rep maxes, but doing exactly what you did. And I'll tell you why, because you probably were able to handle the weight real easily. But when you get tired, because you're doing reps with it, you tend to like start cheating, or you move a little to adjust something, and it's a lot of weight you're holding on your back, especially as a high school player. You just tweak. You can really injure yourself when you're moving around with super heavy weight on your back. And I think that's the problem. And I see guys now, even in the gym, same thing. I'm like, when you're done, you're done. Don't try to force a rep, especially if you don't have anyone underneath you spotting you to help you out, because that's how you get hurt. When you're not in other words, when you're not mentally focused and you're a little fatigued, that's when you kind of let your form kind of deteriorate a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I wasn't the only one that got hurt.
Yeah, really.
There's other people that got hurt. So that's why I was like, man. And then he ended up kicking me out of his weight room one time. And that was like the end of my career. Like,
wow.
Because they end up like, because I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, I have a doctor's note. Like, you need to train me another way right now. And then he's like, if you can't do with the program, like, get out of here. So I was out of there. And then I went to the locker room the next day, and like all my stuff was gone.
Wow. Holy shit. So when you
I went straight, huh?
Yeah, when you get a scholarship and you're off the team now because of an injury, do you have to start paying for tuition? How does that work?
Yeah, I wasn't off the team at that moment. Like, so I ended up going to the head coach, and if you can't, I had an issue with it because I was like, you guys need to tell me before you embarrass me. I go to my locker, my name's gone, all my stuff's gone, and it's in a trash bag.
Right.
I was like, there's no way. I'm in the head coach. I just busted into his room, his office, and I was like, nah, I had it at that point. But so in college, you could do like a medical red shirt.
Okay.
So that's what I did. I did a medical red shirt. I was still on the team, and we gave it like a year.
Right.
So after that year, I didn't get better, but since my grades were so good, they allowed me to stay on the team as a scholarship because it looks good for them for a certain amount of athletes to graduate.
So you were like the brainy guy in the team. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, because I didn't have no other choice. I was hurt.
No, but
I was like, I got to get something out of this place.
Yeah, you kept your scholarship. That's awesome. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. And how I kept it, I got the strength and conditioning coach to allow me to work in there.
Oh, so you became like the guy that was helping the team train.
Yeah. Setting up the weight room for sports to come in.
That's
and
great.
Like I said, I was mixing the shakes. Setting those.
Look, that was very nice to them because they could have just said you're gone, and that would have been
absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, it was a win-win for both because the less people you have that get scholarships that don't graduate, then you don't get as many scholarships. So,
right.
I helped them out, and then I did the service to the team. Like on top of working in the strength and conditioning, I was almost like a graduate assistant for the football team. I still had to go to practice and stuff and run that.
Gotcha.
Set up bags and all kinds of stuff.
Was that difficult for you? Because you're a competitor. Were you like itching to play, or I mean, how did you deal with that mentally?
Oh yeah, it was really like like I never gave up. Like I would go, in the pool, put a belt on, like, and run in the pool. Like I was still training and stuff. I wanted to come back, but it just never got better.
Right.
It never got better. Then it was like something you just have to deal with.
Sure.
I still feel like I could play, like, and I still miss it. But
I have to imagine when it's taken away from you like that, you don't have closure on it, I think, right?
Yeah, but I mean that's usually how sports and stuff like that end. I think bodybuilding would probably be a similar type of thing.
There's not many Tom Brady's out there, right? Who play into their till they're really done, so to speak.
Yeah, typically it's an injury or something that ends your career, and especially in football.
What? So how'd you get into bodybuilding?
The first time I got into bodybuilding, my cousin, she's a female, she was a bodybuilder, and so she came out one time. She lived in Virginia. She came out here in the West Coast with my mom, and they were going to the gym and stuff. And I was like, "What is that? What are you doing?" And she was talking about amino acids and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, "I don't even know what that is. I'm a little kid." So pretty much, my mom got me into the gym. She would go religiously every day, and I was like, I got my pass when I was 13.
That's awesome. So you've been in the gym since you were a young kid, in other words.
Yeah. It was like family fitness back then, but they ended up turning into 24-hour fitness.
Sure.
Yeah. So I've
what
been
state
training.
Was that in?
Pretty much. California.
Okay.
I'm from Moreno Valley, California. So my parents moved out here because my dad was in the Air Force. There's a March Air Force base out here.
Gotcha.
So that's why I was born at the Air Force Base.
So football's over. You start bodybuilding a little bit.
Yep.
Life happens. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, I ended up getting my wife pregnant with twin boys. So that put an end to that, and I had to get a real job. Yeah.
Life happens all the time. And look, you know, people don't look, I have 3 kids now, and having one at a time was difficult. Twins must have been a nightmare for you guys, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like you didn't even take them out the car seats. Like you would have them in the car seats, and you would prop the bottles up like that. Like
you remember that? That's pretty good. You must have really been traumatized if you remember that.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to be left alone with them, like, because my mom owns a child care,
Yeah.
so I was around kids all the time. But like,
right.
babies are like, they're just so fragile. It's more,
Right.
it's easier to deal with them when they're yours, because it's like I could break this baby, but like you can't break somebody else's baby. But you know, they're not gonna break, but you just don't know with the heads and stuff. It's like,
oh yeah, it's scary, man. Yeah, usually men don't take over till about 2 years old, you know, because we're
yeah. Just wake up in the middle of the night, like, the baby's crying.
It's not conducive to bodybuilding. That's why I'm always amazed when I see guys that were bodybuilders and had kids during their career, because it's really, really tough. But at what point did you get back into bodybuilding? Did you say, you know what, I miss it, I really want to get back into it? How old were your kids? You know, how'd that whole come about?
Yeah, I trained the whole time through it, but I ended up getting a divorce like around 35. I was like 34, heading into 35, and we just had issues. We didn't see eye to eye for a little bit, and then I ended up getting a divorce. And then once I got the divorce, I was like, let me see if I could get in shape again. Like I was out of shape. I had the dad bod. I was drinking beer and stuff.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So, but I ended up getting in pretty good shape by 35. And then after that, I was like, maybe I could do a show. And so I, you know, my birthday's in February. Then I was like, I picked a show like in May. I was going to do the California State Championships. I ended up not making it for that show because I didn't get in shape. So I ended up doing the NPC West Coast in June, like a month or so later. And that's when I ended up contacting you for the final week of contest prep, because I had no idea what to do to dry out or anything.
Right.
I didn't even know what I don't even know why I did my own prep, but I was like, I did it. I just ate a lot of white fish, and I was doing 2 hours of cardio and crazy stuff.
And I don't think you had a clue that anyone was really taking anabolics at that point too, right?
I kind of knew, because my friend, he told me, it's like, oh, you need to take something. I was like, I'll be all right. Because I was doing classic. I was just like, oh, it's a new class. Like, these guys aren't that. I'm pretty jacked by itself. Like, let me see what it looks like. But it's just like, my muscles weren't as round and like bubbly.
But you know you must look good when you're natural and you're like, yeah, I can hang with these guys, you know, which you really were able to. It wasn't like you were outclassed by any means. So you obviously had very good genetics, and you had a good work ethic. And so I love that, because sometimes that naivete is so great, because you've trained so hard naturally that by the time, you know, you go to the next level, your body it really responds well to it too, you know?
Yeah. And plus I didn't know nobody that had any, so I didn't know where to get it from at that time. So,
So you compete, once you do the show, are you kind of like completely like consumed with the process? Are you like, I love this? Was it love at first sight type of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, that was the wrong show to pick for the first show. That's that Lonnie Teeper NPC West Coast. It's a really big show, Chris. So I think it's Center Podium show. That
Chris Minnis like now took it over.
Yeah. He was promoting it back then. But it's a really big show, so it's not a good show for your first show if you're just starting out. So, but I did good. I was like 5th or 6th place. So I think I was 5th, but on the scorecard they had both 2 people 5th, but I didn't get a medal for that one. So.
Right. So you're bit now. Now you're gonna be like, I'm gonna spend the next year. I'm gonna put some size on.
Then I was like, the last week went really well with you, and I was like, oh, let me hire Dave to do my coaching, for the whole year. Yeah, I signed up with you. So,
and I could tell you were really into it. I mean, you were really, it was something that you loved doing. I mean, right off I kind of sensed that from you. It was you took it very serious. You wanted to make the best gains possible, And
Yeah.
and there was a learning curve there. Look, you were still a beginner, really. I mean, by all means, you had a great physique, but you were a beginner in the sense that you didn't really know that much about bodybuilding, and so there's a learning curve. And you indulged and immersed yourself in it, and you learn the craft, so to speak.
Yeah. I'm still learning now. So I'm
Look,
only been
I'm
it's only
still
been like
learning. We're all
3,
learning.
yeah,
We're all
three and a
learning.
half years. Yeah.
So at what point did you say to yourself, you know what, I think I can get a pro card. I really want to try now to earn pro status.
After after we went the whole year, then we came back to do the NPC West Coast again, and I ended
Yeah.
up getting first in the
Mhm.
Open Classic C. I didn't get the overall, but I got the 35 class, and
Right.
then I got fourth in heavyweight. I think we decided to go to Masters Nationals after
Yep.
that,
Yep.
so we did that. And I missed the pro card by 1 spot, so
I
I
know.
ended up
Yeah.
getting third in Master Nationals, and the top 2 back then got the pro card, so I didn't get
Right.
nothing.
Because they had first. I think that was first when it first came out. Right. Classic.
Yeah. So now they don't have, like, Masters only get you got to be first. You don't get first and
Sure.
second.
Yeah.
So after that, I don't know. Like, I once I got the bug, it's probably a problem that I have, but like I like to do a lot of shows.
No, you
So
do.
after,
You always asking me, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I'm like, oh, maybe you should put some size on, right? I mean, you like to compete.
yeah. Because then we end up going around, and I think it was that same year, 2019. That was the first year of the Masters USA.
Yes.
So I was like, I have to do that. That's a local show. It's the first year. It's in LA. It's in my backyard. And so we end up doing that, and I got second.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah,
just
so
kept missing.
yeah. And that one I did bodybuilding, and then 2020 I end up, like, everything was messed up because of COVID. The gyms
Sure.
were closed. I tried to build a gym in my garage, and then we were off stuff for a while, waiting for the blood work to get cherry. And then I went into that show way lighter. I tried to just, I don't even know what I was trying to do, but like I was trying to be like ultra peeled, and I was ultra peeled, but I went from being heavyweight the year before, and then I weighed in at 193. But I
Your
wasn't
muscles,
working with
you
too
look
many.
better when you're rounder and fuller, for sure.
Yeah.
As long as it's good quality muscle and you're in shape. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't a bad. I didn't think I did bad. Like, I got first in the Master USA. But I got second in the overall. I didn't get the pro card, and then when I went to USA's, I got fourth. I'm like, that's not bad. Fourth at the USA's, like in the Open. Like,
Right. Well, I was gonna say you're really an open competitor that can cross over because of your age into the Masters, and sometimes it's easier to get the pro card there and then go on. Look at Kareth Baggio. He got a pro card in Masters, and now he's winning 212 Open shows. So there's nothing wrong with getting the card in a non-conventional sense, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like
I mean,
the
you're going to be a
Nationals,
good open. I think you're going to be a very good Open Classic guy. I know you think you're bodybuilding, but I really think now that the weight class is a little higher, you'll be able to gain some muscle and still suck down to that weight class in Classic.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, because the only thing, like, I mean, my leg. The only thing, like, if I could get my legs way bigger, then I would do the open bodybuilding.
Right, but
I never really tried to push and get big and then like take a long time off, like, because see how many shows I did. I'm always doing a show. That's my problem.
Well, you know what it is? I think when you get this, I really believe this is the case. You're not the only person that I've seen this with. A lot of times when guys they get started later in life, they think they got to rush everything because they think they have a limited amount of time. Whereas, the guys that are in their 20s, they take their time. They take a year off because in essence, there's no rush because they're young. So I think because you're you're in your 30s, or your late 30s, you're like, I got to do as many shows as I can get in right now.
Yeah. And I was once I was so close to that pro card, so I was just like, and that was really my goal. Like, I'm like, I've never posted or never said like, I'm gonna get my pro card this show or nothing. I'm like, I'm just trying to do my best. but my best is pretty close to getting a pro card. So you know, if it happens, it happens. Like when they call my name, like I just couldn't believe it. I was just like,
so you didn't think you were gonna win?
I always think I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like I don't want to get my hopes up because I'm like, there's no way this guy's beating me.
Yeah. I hear
So,
you.
but yeah, I absolutely thought I was gonna win. I was the most conditioned guy in that show. If you could talk to people that were at that show, they would tell you like everything was popping. Like right when I walk on stage, you just want to see the fibers just all over the place. That's how I was.
I think that your level of muscle maturity has greatly improved as time has gone by. And I think that's why you're looking better. I think it's just, there's a time factor here. You can only grow so much every year. And I tell this to everyone. That's why you can't take time off, massive amounts of time off, and expect to come back as good as you were before you got back. So I think now with another full year under your belt in 2021 and competing at the end of the year, I think you had gotten back to where you were and you surpassed it for the first time. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. This is my best. And I started working with a trainer locally, Ron Gordon. I don't know if you know Ron Gordon. He's IFBB Pro. Yeah. So, he works with Cycle and all that. And he trains me out of Fitness Mania in Riverside. And that really helped me out because I was training hard, but it's like you only could do so much by yourself.
Sure.
So
you don't push it.
Like leg days, back days. Like I only train with him twice a week, but so like on Mondays, like I'll switch back or chest, alternate the week, but every Thursday we're hitting legs.
Cool.
And there's
Let
no
me
one
ask you
that
this
could,
question, because now that you got the pro card, okay, and you got the overall at the Masters USA, I know how your brain works. You're already thinking about the next show. So what's the next show for you?
I don't know, because I still haven't decided like if I was going to do classic or bodybuilding, because I'm in the borderline right now.
Right.
But I was thinking like if I'm going to do bodybuilding, I'm going to do the Legion.
Okay.
Because that's the closest. They don't have the Cal anymore. It's not on the schedule this year.
I would do a classic show or like mid-year, and then I would like wait till the end of the year and do an open show, so you have more time to grow a little bit. If you're going to do that, and then see how you do in both, and let the judges tell you what they think you fit best in.
Yeah, because I could hop into a classic show.
My money is on classic with you, but
okay.
We'll see what maybe the judges don't agree with me. Maybe they say you're an open guy. I don't know. I think you got classic written all over.
I mean, I placed both, and I placed well in both categories. That's the good thing. So,
well,
we'll see where it goes.
Nathan, you're a great feel-good story because you've overcome a lot of obstacles in life, and between sports injuries and divorce and raising kids, and now you've achieved goal number 1, which is to get the pro card. Now goal number 2, I'm assuming is. And you didn't tell me this, but I have to assume you would like to win a pro show, right? And go to the Olympia.
Oh, absolutely. That would be a dream. I'm just I want to get top 5 first in a pro show. Then after that, like, I mean, if it's possible, like I said, like I feel perfect right now. Right. I feel 100% healthy. I'm ready to train. So we'll see where it takes me.
Well, have a great Christmas and New Year's. Relax a little bit, and then January 2nd. We want to see you hit that gym at 100% blazing, saddles ablazing, so that we can see you on an IFBB stage in 2022.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for getting me on here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. I'm very proud to watch your whole journey and to be a part of it. And once again, excellent job and congratulations on the pro card.
Thank you.
All right. And guys, that's going to take us to the end of another episode of RX Muscles Live with. I'm Dave Palumbo with Nathan Dandridge. We'll see you next time.